Happy Sunday. I hope all is well. So, this is a disaster relief update with everything that's going on. I know I did my last update about 2 weeks ago, and from that video to now, the relief stuff as far as FEMA, SBA, the funding, the fund relief thing through my job, all of that is pending. I did receive a call from the SBA to provide more information because my tax return said that I did not meet the minimum income threshold, but I know my job does meet it. So I had to turn around and submit pay stubs, and FEMA had me upload another statement from the auto shop that has my car now with either the amount it would take to fix my car or the statement actually saying that my car is totaled. So they gave me a new statement, literally saying the car is totaled due to excessive water damage, and I uploaded that document. And I did end up getting a reward letter for something miscellaneous, but my vehicle itself is still pending. But like I said, I just uploaded that auto statement Thursday or Friday. I uploaded that. So, and then the workplace grant is running low on funds. I'm pretty sure a lot of people signed up for it as well. So we did get an email about that. So, all three of those options are still pending as of Friday. That was the last time I had looked into those things. Now, I returned my rental on the 5th of November. So I got it September 30th, and then I returned it November 5th. Hold on, I just need to see a calendar right quick. And I need to see, when was the 5th? The 5th was, why y'all tripping? Tuesday. Okay, the 5th was Tuesday. So last Saturday, I went to H. Gregg and Brandon. I had got pre-qualified for a vehicle through my credit card company, and they work with H. Gregg. So I went out there on the 2nd of November to get a car. It was a 2024 Nissan Sentra S, and I test drove it. My brother was with me, and we sat down, did the paperwork. The Carfax said that it had been in a minor fender bender with cosmetic damage, which they fixed. The car looked fine outside, inside, trunk, under the hood. Everything looked fine. I looked over. Me and my brother looked over it, and we didn't see anything wrong. He said he heard what he thought was the rotary on the right side, I believe, that was kind of rubbing. And they said that they would fix that. So I said, okay, cool. Did the paperwork. My brother drove my car back home. I drove the rental back home. When he pulled into the parking lot, me and my mother, we heard a noise as he was parking the car. He said it was making some noise on the way over, and like something was dragging up under the car. So we looked up under the car, and that's when we saw like it had, I don't know what it's called, the mat or whatever that goes along the wheel of the tire, but above it that's attached to the car. And then my brother called it a weather mat. There was a piece of it that was broken off underneath that had like been dragging as he drove it home, and we didn't see it. I didn't see it before we got the car here. So when I said, okay, you know what? I'll just take it to Nissan the following day, which was the 3rd, which was Sunday. I'll take it to Nissan and see what they say. So I took it to Nissan on Sunday, which they was closed, but they let me drop my keys off and write a note about what was wrong with the car. And I explained the whole situation because I do have a relationship with this dealership. So I explained the whole situation and dropped my car off, and I took an Uber back home. Did I? Yeah. So Monday comes. That is, yeah, November 4th. Monday comes. Around lunchtime, Nissan calls me and he was like, okay, I got your note. We did a full what he said, diagnostic thing, testing over the car. And he was like, well, if you just got this car, you need to take it back because it has extensive damage up under the engine. They had to lift the car up to really get the full picture. And I don't have the paperwork, but he broke down everything for me that was wrong with the car, and it had like a total of $3,500 in damages. And I was like, okay, I didn't trip because I had 5 days to, kind of experience with the car and see if I wanted to keep it or exchange it. So he was like, it's about $3,500 in damages. I mean, there was a leak. I remember there was a leak somewhere. It needed an alignment. There were parts missing, parts bent. And it was like tucked in where you couldn't see it with the naked eye. Like he said, he had to lift the car and actually look under to see all of this. So I said, okay, cool. I'm taking it back. I was just very thankful. He didn't even charge me the full price. I was thankful for that too, for doing the diagnostic. So I left work and I had my rental still. So I left work. I took the rental home, took Uber back to Nissan dealership to pick up the car, told my brother to meet me at H. Gregg, and then I drove the car to H. Gregg. I get there, I beat my brother there, and explained the situation. I was frustrated. That did come out. And I did apologize before I left. But yeah, I was very frustrated. I was very angry. And I gave them every bit of what I thought about that car, the business, and everything. I let them have it. There you go. I let them have it. So they would not give me my money back like I wanted because I didn't want to continue to do business with them. And so that was the whole back and forth. So I ended up having to exchange the car because they would not give me my money back. And I ended up getting a 2024 Nissan Sentra SV, which is an upgrade from my original car that I had that was flooded by the hurricane. And he kept my payments the same. All of that stayed the same. And they just gave me an upgraded car. He ended up having to call the guy that, did the paperwork with me on Saturday because I wasn't feeling the manager that was there on site. And we got the paperwork done. And I ended up leaving. And they did request a copy of Nissan's assessment of the vehicle that I had brought back. And that was that. But I told them, like, I told them about their behinds. And I'm so glad I did. Because, I was really nervous about doing this whole car buying situation. Because I know a lot of times women are taken advantage of in these areas. And that's what I was afraid of. But, I'm very proud of myself for standing up for myself, for speaking against, being wronged, and using my voice, and not just, just taking it without letting them know how I felt. So I was really proud of myself about that. I really wasn't digging that I did let my anger get the best of me in that, in that moment. Um, because I felt like, I'm still able to be, but I don't know if that was me being triggered or like I was rightfully well within my rights to be angry. Like I paid money down for a vehicle that turned around and had like a more extensive damage than they let on. So yeah, I do have my new vehicle now, and I'm back to making payments. I'm back to paying full coverage um, through insurance, and then my insurance actually went down. So my insurance in Florida for 2024 Nissan Sentra SV is 176, and so that was cheaper than I was paying for Sylvia. I think I was paying for Sylvia. I was paying 220, and then with that last car, the car that was jacked up, the insurance for that car was two. It was either 226 or 236, something like that. So it all worked out because I ended up in the car that I really wanted, which is an upgraded version of Sylvia. So it all worked out in the end. I got to, stand on my own 2 feet, for myself, and be heard, whether they wanted to hear it or not. And I do want to say that this whole experience has just further opened my eyes up to this country and how morally bankrupt and corrupt this country is, and how these businesses, they don't care about its consumers. They really don't. Like these corporations, they do not care about the people that actually keep them in business. And it's just like every day, in every experience you have as a working person in this country, you just see it. You can't unsee it. And it just makes you want to figure out a way to break away from it all, like so seriously. But yeah, so that was my most recent car buying experience. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad I have reliable transportation. And it is my goal again to be granted with the funds through FEMA or my workplace so that I can make a bigger down payment on my car, or get a better interest rate loan through SBA, so that, because my interest rate with the car is, I want to say 10.39. And if the interest rate is better through the SBA that can cover this car loan, and I'll just make payments towards the SBA, I'll go that route. So I'm just keeping my mind open, keeping my options open. Like right now, I know that I'm able to meet my payments. I do have a car. I can get back and forth to work, and I'll be all right. Everything will be all right. It all worked out. And I feel like I went through that experience with getting the bad car first, is just so that I can further continue to use my voice, continue to stand up for myself, and and you know give a voice to the wrongs that are coming my way, instead of just sweeping them under the rug. And that's how I look at it. That's how I choose to look at it. So we have that, and then the unemployment, the disaster relief unemployment. So I mentioned the one time I got paid in the last update. I have not gotten approved for any more days since. I had 2 more weeks that I can apply for, and the first week was 3 days missing due to Hurricane Milton. So I only worked 2 days that week. For that week I applied, and they denied it. And then the following week, I did work all 5 days. And I told the truth. I told them when I was working, and I told them when I wasn't working. So the week for the 3 days missed due to Hurricane Milton was denied. And of course, the week where I did work all 5 days was denied. I'm not appealing. I'm not worried about it. I'm thankful for the one payment I did get at the time I got it, and I'm just moving on. I just can't worry about it. The system was kind of janky because the unemployment for disaster relief, it wasn't really separated from just your regular Florida unemployment for people that are actively unemployed. Like it wasn't separated. So it just kind of it was just kind of janky the way they tried to organize it. So I just say, you know what, I'll apply for the days that I know I wasn't able to work due to the hurricane, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. So yeah, I end up only getting one payment through the disaster relief unemployment for the state of Florida. And I think, yeah, that's it for that. That's it for that. So I think I hit everything: unemployment, the car, and then the disaster relief funds. Yes. So I hit everything that I said I was going to speak on today. Yeah. So yeah, that is the update. I will say though, like I'll go ahead and say about the new car, the 2024 Nissan Sentra SV. And another thing is about having the bad experience first with the Nissan Sentra S. And this came to me after the fact. Because you know how I said the silver lining is that I ended up with the car that I wanted. So when I rented the rental that I had when I went to the airport and got that in September 30th, that rental was a Nissan Sentra SV 2023. Now I thought that was a coincidence because my car that flooded was a 2015 Nissan Sentra SV. So when I got the rental and they pointed me to a 2023 Nissan Sentra SV, I was like, okay, coincidence? Or is the universe saying, check out the newer version? And then when I got that rental, I was like, all right. I loved it. I loved it to the point where I was like, God, I'm laying my claim on this car. Hopefully, like, these people could just sell me this car and I'll just make payments. Like, and I even went and not asked, but I went and looked on their website to see if they sold their cars. Because I loved it. I loved the car so much. I was like, this is what I want. This is what I want. I want this vehicle. And I remember saying that like almost every time I got in there. And so then when I did get, pre-qualified, I was trying to stay within my price range, and I didn't see a Nissan Sentra SV, or maybe I just didn't go through enough pages. And so I ended up settling for the Nissan Sentra S, which is it's amazing how much of a difference there is between the models of the cars. And even though like the dash and everything was very basic and all that stuff, it was still drivable. It was within my budget, and I was satisfied with that until it made all that noise and stuff, and then Nissan dealership confirming all the damages and stuff, and they had to go back. And then only to end up, because after the whole back and forth, I told the guy, I was like, well, fine, since y'all won't give me my money back, find me another vehicle, a reliable vehicle. And he was going through and showing me, and then we ended up, because I told him another thing, I was like, y'all messed up, so y'all got to stay within my budget. And we ended up finding a 2024 Nissan Sentra SV that had a great background, no accidents whatsoever. And he kept me within my budget, and he kept my car payment the same as with the Nissan Sentra S. So it all worked out. It all worked out. I don't even regret, saying what was on my mind and telling them about themselves, because they needed to hear it. Even though I know they do this to folks all the time. Lemon cars don't exist for a reason. I mean, lemon cars exist for a reason. Because people do this. They sell raggedy cars. So, I know they're going to continue to get business. I know they're going to continue to sign these car contracts with other people and all this other stuff. But I didn't let the moment pass where I didn't speak for myself and my experience. That's all I'm saying. So, the last thing about the car buying situation is the amount of fees that are listed in these contracts. I'm not even gonna go there, but it's insane. It's insane how much your loan is boosted up from the price of the car to the actual amount of the loan that you're going to end up paying off, including interest. It's insane. And that's what I mean by, like, it's just profit over everything and everybody. So, yeah, I'm more determined now than ever to find a way out of the clutches of corporate America. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. That's the video. I will see you next time.